Welcome back, everybody. Check that and see if you see it. Yes, sir. I don't know what they're doing to us. Yeah, man. We just start load up back. Forward back, everybody. Make the people them know so we're back on. Because I see it come up in I say the internet unstable. I mean I say unstable all of a sudden. All of a sudden we get unstable. All of a sudden we get unstable. Pause that be. Forward back, everybody. Forward. Talk back, right? Yeah, man. Talk back. Eh? You're not seeing it? Welcome back. But us wait till some more people rejoin the live, you know? We're climbing back. We're climbing. Yes, man. Yeah, man. They're playing a game with the Portland Spice TV. See it. Thursday night. Well, go on, brother.
Hello?
Morning.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Welcome.
Hey, morning, Colin. How are you doing?
Boy,
From you start talking about the furniture, they disconnected you.
Yes.
I was there listening, and once I heard the furniture, it was like blank.
Yes. I don't know.
But, yeah.
They do
what
the
I
same.
wanted to say.
They did the same thing to us Thursday night. All of a
For
sudden,
real?
yeah, we were carrying a live town hall meeting, and in the close to the end of Anthony Hilton's presentation, the live just dropped like how it just dropped a while ago.
Yeah, so that's what they're doing. They're messing with the system.
Yeah, man.
They're messing with the system. But what I wanted to say, though, something I've been thinking about something, right?
Yes.
So, Dr. Chang, he's a descendant of Chinese, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the what's his name again? Chuck. He's a descendant of Chinese also, right?
Yeah. Check this nuts.
So Dr. Chang stated,
yeah,
shoot and ask question after. Don't bring in the guys.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Chang said they're gonna charge children as young as what? 12 or young.
And give them how much years. Yeah.
Exactly. So this is my thing now. So it seems like these men are trying to cut down the black race in Jamaica to accommodate the Chinese race. If you're gonna do that to a little 15-year-old or a 16-year-old, lock them up for life, right? And then when you look in the prisons, you don't see the Chinese in the prisons.
No, it's pure black man.
It's be a black man. So this is my thinking. My thinking is this: then trying to cut down the black race and get in more China in Jamaica.
Yeah.
To colonize Jamaica. That's just how I feel. I think the people them need to rebel and get rid of these people.
All right, my brother. Respect.
Blessings. Just that.
Yeah,
all right. Respect.
Yes, man. As I told you earlier, we are going to be talking to Natalie Nita Garvey this morning about what is happening. And let me quickly say this. Jamaica is heading to a dictatorship. We have a government who will do anything and everything to control the narrative. This government, you see, they didn't want the report on Duns River Falls to go public. They are now saying that the Water Commission not going back to KSMC because they released the water report. And I remember the Prime Minister tell the people of Jamaica that when you want credible news, you must come to FEME social media page. That. Eh? From the fertilizer story? How will you say? Where the backside blade? Eh? As long they kick we off? So from the time when I saw it came up that the thing unstable, then kick we off. We have to start work out something else to be stable. Because the truth is an offense. Believe it or not, my people. When you talk truth, you offend people. And Jamaica, I am warning you. Run. When you see them labor right here, come run. Run. They are trying to take us into a dictatorship. They want to control us. I am warning you. Run and make sure every one of you go out, go vote when the election is called. Because I don't want to live in a dictatorship. I want to live in a democratic country. And what we are seeing are signs, clear signs of a dictatorship. When you have a prime minister who tells you that when you want credible news, you must come to his page. That means only where him tell you what you have to know. Remember, I did this up the Auditor General, you know. Said don't leave to incompetence or malice. Chris, what go on?
What's up, Colin? How you doing?
Why you see what I go on?
Why, I watch it from afar, but me not the belly of the beast, not the United States, and him fellow traveler, Trump.
Yes.
People do not understand, and I keep telling people this, they don't understand that these people have a philosophy that is rooted in right-wing nationalism.
Yes.
And Andrew Holness has adapted, if you look at the people that Andrew Holness admire, like Ruto in Kenya, and Netanyahu and Trump.
Yes.
These are the people that Andrew Holness is drawn to.
Mm-hmm.
And all of his anti-democratic leanings, he adopts from these people. The guy in El Salvador, he admire these people. They are fellow travelers.
Yes, yes.
And if people don't wake up, them go and wake up like how people in the United States now wake up and realize that them maybe 3/4 of the way into a dictatorship.
Yeah.
And them don't know what to do about it, how to do it. People are confused and completely don't know what to do in the United States.
And I try.
They never listen to the warning. And now that the wolf is at the door, they don't know what to do to get out of this situation.
And I'm trying to tell the labor rights in Jamaica that this is not the Labour Party we want to know.
Exactly. And like, you know, when the first go around with Trump, you know, the old remnant of the Republican Party was there to box him in. But him get rid of all of them people and put in sycophants and acolytes to follow him instruction.
Yes.
It's not, so the old Republican Party is gone. Similarly, is the JLP party has been taken over by a corrupt leader.
Yes.
Who is reshaping the party in his own image. He's a corrupt person, people, and he will do anything to hold on to power.
God, me never.
So people can sleep. People can sleep on him at their own risk, but don't say them never hear.
Yeah, and that I am saying to the people of Jamaica, when you see these labor rights coming around, but them a canvas and them want to talk to you, run. It is a dictatorship that they are bringing on the people of Jamaica.
Colin, all dictators know that you have to control the message.
Yes.
You control the press, control the message. And the first thing Trump did when he come in the first time, he got the fake news to undermine the media.
Yes.
And he did a great job.
Yeah.
A lot of the 75 million people that voted for Trump the first time and the second time believe that the media is fake.
Yes.
When it's Trump is fake and Fox News is fake. And that is exactly what Andrew Holness is doing in Jamaica.
It is easier for some people to believe a lie than to believe the truth, you know.
Exactly. I sit here and look at Jamaica and I say the similarities that between the United States and Jamaica is uncanny in what is going on with Trump and what Andrew Holness is trying to achieve.
But the man them tell you. The man them tell you say the only government in the Caribbean that they think is close to them is Jamaica.
Yes, it is true. Absolutely. So let me get out, but people better wake up. All right, Colin.
Andrew Wallace and Trump a party. Thank you, brother.
All right.
So I am now getting it. Yeah, Obi. Yeah, man, I that me realize from we talk about the fertilizer, the whole thing went down. But let me get to you up on the other line. I'm trying to get Natalie and then I get to you. Because I have an interview with Natalie Nita Garvey. Let me try her again. Because we want to talk about this NWC deciding that they are not going to give any more report to the KSAMC, Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation. We're trying to get to the shadow minister of local government. Not getting through. Let me touch base with OB. And it is rather strange for me because Thursday night, everybody else that was carrying the event live, their live stayed up. Mark you, we had the most people because we had about 1,600 people when it failed. And we could have just rejoined. So I guess maybe they're trying to bug the channel. But in the name of Jesus Christ, we come against every plan of the devil because they are devils. Obi, what go on, brother?
I'm here, my friend. I'm here.
Boy,
hold on.
With there.
I don't know what is happening, Colin. My gadget here not carrying you live. It's actually showing the start of your program.
Well, just close that and come because we are up and the people in the chat room say that we are up and live.
Hold on there, Colin.
Yeah, man, just lock that and make we talk because a whole heap of things to talk about this morning. We hear arrogance personified in that interview with Matthew Samuda and Dean Jackson Miller.
That live broadcast of
yes.
Hello?
Turn off the background, Obi. We're still hearing the background.
Yeah, man, it's down now. It's
all
down
right.
now. It's
yeah,
down.
man.
It's down. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me also turn off this fan that gives me some breeze here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Colin, you were saying good morning to yourself and of course Natalie and your producer and of course all your connecting folks there and those in Jamaica and across the diaspora and the rest of the world.
Yeah,
I greet you well. Happy Saturday.
And welcome back, everybody. We are back up to about 274 when we got kicked off, we were almost 700 people on the live. So just share up at the live, like up at the live. They can't stop. We know they're trying to stop us, but they will never be able to stop us. OB, $54 million worth of fertilizer unaccounted for. Matthew Samuda said there's nothing in law that the Water Commission need to report to the KSMC. Is that good governance?
It can't be, Colin. It can't be. And yesterday I was talking to two female that you may be familiar with. I was talking to Andrea, goes by name Abo.
Yeah.
You'll be familiar with her. And I was also talking to Pinks. I call her Pinks, Green from down there in Montego Bay. And indeed, and other people. And the common theme was that we have never seen this kind of malgovernment taking place in Jamaica. Everything just seems as if it is. We usually when people grew up, them used to have something them call dirty pot.
Yeah.
Dirty pot. One little nothing. Playing a mud and all sorts of things. And you kind of get the feeling that we're having dirty pot government going in Jamaica.
Yes.
Everything is just going awry. And to add insult to injury, Colin, whenever you when you heard those persons yesterday, Andy and Jackson Miller, you really wonder what is taking place. They have absolutely no respect, no regard. They're actually starting to disrespect the Fourth Estate in a big way because it's as if you must not ask them questions. Only when they go on a friendly network that basically is their campaign.
Yeah.
Organization, they seems to want to talk to them. And even there, Colin, if the host decide to actually ask a tough question, even there,
pop out.
They start to push back.
Yes.
To go on wicked. But I tell you something. One of the main hosts on that and that outfit, he said to them at one point, that the whole administration is tired with corruption. And he doesn't know how he will extricate himself from it. And it is the house is tumbling. Of course, I heard Cliff Hughes say that.
Yeah.
He said the whole administration is tired with corruption. And the house is coming crashing down, Colin. And it seems as if they're feeling the pressure more and more, and they're getting more arrogant. I'm hearing that young Deniska Williams, she is down there in Southwest Senton, making a lot of inroads, and she's coming under no amount of pressure from the Member of Parliament and his surrogates.
What kind of pressure?
And I'm urging them. Well, Colin, just, a lot of people are being called and they're trying to paint a picture there. Colin, I am not even going to go into some other things. I am hoping to speak to Daniska sometime next week or so. I'd urge you. I don't know if it's possible, Colin. You could basically get her on in this discussion, because certainly the young lady is doing a lot of work down there. They're feeling the work that she is doing. And as a result of that, there are some move afoot there, Colin. And I'd prefer for her to relate some of the things that are happening down there. Because what she's there to do, she's highlighting the ills of the 9 years of wholeness and by extension, Xavier Main, non-action in the constituency. And it seems as if she's finding favor. She's making inroads into what would have normally been strong territory for the Labour Party and Xavier Main. But just to get back to what you're talking about here, Colin, the fertilizer issue and also the water. And, Colin, the minister, Matthew Samuda, should be ashamed of himself to be siding with an agency, the Water Commission, to hide information from the Jamaican people by way of making the decision that they will not share the report, Colin. It is indeed egregious. And the people of Jamaica need to know that what we're talking about our health. It is water that we're all consuming, and all certainly the people, the people on the PNP side in the KCMC and others, the PNP by extension, they're saying that, listen, publish this report. The Water Commission has been doing this, and they're saying that continue so to do. They're not saying that you can't get it wrong, but let the people know and take corrective action.
Obi,
in the Water Commission case.
Let me tell you what I am seeing. I am seeing a dictatorship. And anyhow, they get a third term, Jamaica is going to become a dictator government. And I say without any fear of contradiction. The signs are clear. It starts, you remember when the Prime Minister said, if you want credible news, come to my social media page?
Absolutely. Remember, well, it goes beyond that. At one point, he was cursing out social media and saying that people are supposed to go to mainstream. And then after that, he pivots and said, listen, if mainstream reader is not cutting us, if you want credible information, you must come to his social media space.
Yes.
You understand? So he has been flip-flopping. He has been flip-flopping with this, Colin. But, you know, when you look at the judgment that came out of the court yesterday.
Yes, that's the next one.
Which basically put Jamaica now in a situation where we could see a flurry of lawsuit upon the government, which is the taxpayers of Jamaica will have to pay.
Yeah, we have to pay.
Indeed, Colin. And when you look at that, remember now, you know, that these people, they were warned. They were schooled by the People's National Party. And I want to hail Peter Bunting and, of course, Mark Golden and the entire PNP this morning for that heavy lifting. They were prepared to go out there on a limb and defend the Jamaican people. And we saw where they were vindicated yesterday in the court of Jamaica, that the government has indeed been breaching the Constitution of Jamaica, not once, not twice, not thrice, but over and over and over and over again.
And what does that say to you, Obi? What does that say to you about a government that has failed to govern within the guidelines of the Constitution? What does that say to you?
Well, Colin, it goes back to what you said, that we're in the jaws of what is a creeping dictatorship. And if we don't stop these guys in their tracks, then we will get into a full-blown dictatorship. Remember now that they serve notice that they are prepared to appeal this decision. And as I heard from John Clark, who is the chairman for Jamaica for Justice, other legal luminaries, and saying that, listen, this is something in futility, because all the legal luminary said that, listen, this is a sound decision.
Yes,
and they were warned from day one that they were going up the gum tree and they should cease and desist. But what happened? Andrew Holness and his government, they are wrong and strong. And we must call the AG, the Attorney General. We must also point out the ill-advised that it seems that this government is getting, or is it that they're getting good advice and they're not taking it? Because, Colin, it is embarrassing. It is very embarrassing to see a government fail at the court so often, so many times.
The producer is getting Danishka, but I just trying to figure out how to bring her on. So I figured it out. So continue, Obi.
Yeah.
But next week, we are going to be inviting some lawyers to really look at that ruling next week.
Indeed, Colin, and broaden discussion as to how the government has basically deal with the Constitution of Jamaica. Let us remind Jamaicans that, Colin, the Constitution is the compass by which a government governed by. And when you really literally throwing that through the window, Colin, then what happened? You're now running a maladministration. And as you said, we're in the jaws of dictatorship. And the people of Jamaica must use sleep and mark that. We saw what happened on the road there in the road range, and we're seeing this gentleman being purloined all over the place. Granted, people can always fix a picture, but I'm seeing so many pictures with this man have connection, chain link like crazy. And to date, Colin, I don't know if I haven't seen it to date. Have this man name being put out official by the police? And
why name? There's a name, Obi, I think. Hold on for me, Danishka. There's a name, I think the name is Andy Bell. And I am so disappointed that this man named Bell. Very disappointed.
That name, Colin, has it come out official from the police, or is just people during the social media space able to get this information and put it out there?
Well,
can you verify?
That is the name
that we see. Oh, all right, cool.
Obi, hold the line for me. I have Danishka on the line. Danishka, good morning.
Yeah.
Hi, morning, comrades.
How are you this morning?
I'm tired, but I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Well, we are good. I have Conrad O'Brien on the next line, and he was telling us that you're coming under some serious pressure down there because of the work that you are doing in your constituency.
Well,
hi, Deniska.
Deniska,
how are you doing?
Word it for me. Let me hear exactly what you said.
Talk to her, Conrad.
Hi, Deniska. What happened? I was just telling Colin that basically you have gone into the space there in Southwest St. Anne, and you're quite energetic, and you dare to highlight the ills that are facing the people within the constituency. And you yourself, while you're highlighting it and you're having them under pressure, which you must, but what happened? They are now pushing back at you by raising certain things and creating a campaign there that seems as if, they want to take the campaign in a particular direction. And I was just highlighting that to Colin, that this is coming to my attention. So I asked him to reach out to you because I think you need to make Jamaica know what is happening, what is taking place in that constituency that you're offering yourself to the MP.
Well, from my end, it's a peaceful campaign. I can't speak to my opponent or his set of people. His side, I can never speak to them and what they're willing to do. But from what we've seen so far, they've been painting a negative image. They've also been taking down my boards. So we see that so we can have an idea of what might come. But it's just important for us to prepare ourselves and arm ourselves with information and the relevant contacts for police and the relevant persons in the party who we may need to contact in case we have an emergency or any issue. But for me, it's peace and love. We're not going back to 1980s. Peace and love for my campaign. And I would love for my opponent to understand that you can hit the road and see if you can beat me there. Because I know for one, you can have more energy than me. And the people not going to love you like how they love me. Let's campaign there.
Tell us about some of the work that you are doing on the ground, Danishka.
Well, I walk 6 days a week.
What?
So I have a hectic schedule. Right, the one day that I don't walk, if I am called, I will show up, and several of those days I am called, so I do have to show up. I'm present. I attend a lot of grave diggings and those things. But I mean, I walk. I'm campaigning. I'm meeting the people. I'm
touching flesh.
I'm meeting my numbers. I am also doing other things. I'm highlighting issues that exist that I personally can't fix, but I would love for my opponent to fix until I win, and then I am able to fix the other things. Because there's some things that him can't fix now, and maybe he doesn't have an intention to do it, but if I bring enough attention to it, he may do so. So we're highlighting some of those things, like the bridge at Douglas Castle that has broken away. The residents said it has been over a year. As you know, I've only been named candidate since December, so I wouldn't have known when it first broke away. But I take guidance from the residents, and they said, however, it was last year that it got really bad. You know, and it's massive. It's a massive breakaway.
Wow.
When I posted it on social media, persons are saying they've never seen anything like that. Is it a cave? Does it lead to blue hole? You know, people are saying different things, just making light of the situation. But it's a hazard. It's a risk for the residents. You know, persons who drive, children going to school, the elderly persons have dropped into the hole. A bike man drop in there, an old man drop in there. So, I mean, things have happened, and what I'm saying is, let's fix these things instead of tearing down my boards, because there are issues that you can address in the constituency as MP until I take over from you. You can do a little bit.
And your opponent is the junior minister of finance.
Right.
Tell us about some of the plans you have for that constituency, Dennis.
I have big plans for Southwest Centre, you know, the basics, road and water. But in addition to that,
one second. Before you roll out your plan, can I just ask you this? I just mentioned that there is someone that is known to me, a gentleman by the name of Patrick Taylor, who is a part of Xavier's team. I engaged him, and he's saying that, listen, Deniska, you're not speaking the truth, because there are a lot of roads that have been fixed and so on, and Davey has basically put a lot in the constituency, have a lot of achievements there. Are you able to identify those achievements that he's saying, the roads and the constituency
I think between now and when the election is called, he's working on finding those achievements himself. So I wish him all the best in finding them and getting them done. I know he'll be pulling on whatever friends he has in other ministries to kind of pull things together to look like, okay, we've worked, you know, so you will see 9 years of work come together in a couple of months. That's what will happen, right? So I'm not debating with them on that, because I can tell you this, had there been a legacy, we would have heard about it. When I go to Kingston and I speak to persons and I say I'm running in Southwest Centre, they say, who is the MP there? They do not remember him. He is the unknown, the easily forgotten. Right? So if there was a legacy, I wouldn't be here doing what I'm doing now. So let me just say that clearly. And I'm not debating with him about what he did and what he didn't do, because we both know the truth, and Patrick knows the truth. Patrick is paid by the bakery, and he's now coming into the constituency, which is fine. However, be honest, as I am. There is nothing that I'm going to say ever that's going to be a lie. I might run to a joke, but I will never tell a lie. Right? If Xavier had a legacy in this constituency, the party could never send me there. It wouldn't have happened, right? So on to the plans that I have now.
Yes.
So there's some big plans for the constituency. We want to ensure that the young people who leave high school, right, they have a clear path and a clear idea as to what to do next. They currently don't, right? So we have 2 high schools. We have Abutnut Gallimore and we have Abuka High School. We want to know that when the students leave there, them know, all right, so I can go to this training center in the constituency. There was a training center there that was brought by Walford when he was MP, the Heart Institute, and up by Armadale, and it has been removed. It's no longer there.
They move a training center from the constituency?
Yeah, man, it's not there. Well, I don't know what their story is, but I know it's no longer there. I don't know their story, but it's no longer there because they don't communicate well with the citizens or with the public. They don't do very well at communication, so I can't really... everything I do is based on the research that I've had to do. I've scanned their social media. I've scanned their... I've tried to find their parliamentary presentations to see, to match up what him promised with what him deliver, to say, you know, what I need to do next. Regarding water, 95% of the constituency does not have running water. So hold
on. Break up. What percent?
95. I've
95% of a constituency in the land of wood and water doesn't have water.
In 2025.
Colin, Deniska, when context matters as well when we have this discussion. Let us remind the listeners and the viewers that this particular constituency has been represented by the Jamaica Labour Party by about to about 98%. One could almost say 99%. It has been represented by the Jamaica Labour Party since it was created. From the days of Abotna Gallimore to his son, come all the way over. I think the PNP had seen victory in that constituency 2 times in the life of that constituency.
95%
so it's important
do
for us to point to the people to show what happened, how the people have been taken for a ride in that constituency, and how the Jamaica Labour Party treat a constituency that have been loyal to them for so long.
Danishka, how you plan to fix that problem? Because that's something that you must fix.
Well, I've done the research, and I've spoken to Comrade Walford in particular, because he said he wanted to bring water to the constituency. He wasn't able to do it in his first term, but he has the plan.
Right.
So if he has the plan, he has already started, and all I would need to do now is pick up where he left off.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But he has started some of the work, and I will be able to pick up. Right now, I can't say my opponent never start to plan or try and figure it out, but I can say I have no evidence that he has.
But how do
right?
people
no
manage?
That he has.
Only 5% of the constituency have run portable water. How they manage?
Tank. So black tank is a luxury in my constituency.
Well, then the Labour Party have a whole heap of that giving out, Danishka. How you going to manage that?
Yeah, man. They do. I mean, I'm not concerned about it, as I said, because I tell my voters, take what they're giving you because you deserve it. You know, you deserve it. So take it. If they come with the fertilizer that they can't account for, take it. You deserve it. Right? If they come in with the black tanks, take it. You deserve it. Because that's the truth. They do deserve it. So, these are hardworking people. A majority of my constituency consists of farmers. Right? We don't have storage facilities. There's so much that we need to do for the farmers. We need to revamp the 4-H clubs in the schools. Right? So we can make farming cool from that level. Because what will happen is farming, we got to a point where farming was no longer cool. And we need to make it cool again so that persons can understand that this is how we feed the nation. This is how we're going to build back Jamaica to where we need it to be. And the People's National Party has proposed a lovely plan for developing the agricultural sector, and Southwest Central is included in it.
But isn't that an agricultural constituency?
It is. It is.
How many of the fertilizer did your constituency get?
By the paper said 300, but I'm not sure.
300 out of 72,000.
That's what the paper said. The document that I read.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through it again because, as I say, I walk every day. So today I have a grave digging in a couple of hours. So between now and then, I'm going to go back through that document so I'm able to properly speak on it. But what I saw in the report was 300. So I'm going to go through it again.
But Colin,
I don't want to misinform.
Go ahead, Conrad.
The important thing, 300 bags were said to have been given. Did this 300 bags reach bona fide farmers? Are there any of those, like we're hearing elsewhere, that was being sold in farm store? Because those are some of the things, can people be identified as, boy, they are registered farmers and they benefit from a bag of this fertilizer? So Danishka, those are some of the digging that I know that you are doing.
Right. So what I do, I have data, right? I'm collecting data, getting information from my farmers to find out. Because how I did my manifesto, I didn't just come and say these are the plans. I have some plans, but also it's consultative. So I speak to the farmers, I speak to the teachers, I speak to the nurses, I speak to everybody, the policemen.
As you mentioned, nurses, Danishka, as a woman, and so on, I'm sure that you must be on your walk,
Obi, hold on, Obi. Danishka was saying something. Finish.
Right. So I was saying I speak to the different sectors of people that exist in the constituency to help me to put my manifesto together. And I think I have a beautiful manifesto that I've put together. I sent it over to the party for review because, as you know, the way in which I do my politics, I'm young. Even though I've been around politics from in the belly, I am young to representational politics. So I send it out to the members of the party so they can critique and send it back to me to say, look here, you can't do this, but this is going to take long. You can't do that right now, So I'm getting that kind of feedback right now so that when I present it to my constituents, they understand that I've done the research. I've consulted with you, and I've went back to my party for those who have done it decades before me to give me feedback and tell me what is feasible, what is possible. And then in addition to that, I've been working with the spokespersons who can assist me in the various areas. So for example, water, I carried Ian Hales to the area that we have water, but the water is being transported to Manchester and not Southwest Senton, but the water, it is in Southwest Senton, but we're not getting it. So I brought him there and he found it funny. He said, this is a low-hanging fruit, first term, right? You know, so things like that I have been doing, right? To bring Dr. Dawes to tour the health centers, and I'm calling for mobile clinics, especially from a Calderwood division, because the clinic there has been closed down because of an infestation of mold. So it's infested with mold and it closed down, and I'm calling for mobile clinics there to see how we can help the residents, because they still need primary care, you know, but they can't travel the distance to get it. So if the Ministry of Health can send out the mobile clinics to them, I would be appreciative. You know, and this is something I've been calling for, not the member of parliament who sits in cabinet with the Minister of Health. Wow. It's the opposition, me, who has been calling for it. All right, so.
Is there Alpha Primary School is in your constituency, Danishka?
No.
Oh, okay. Maybe somewhere else. Well, Danishka,
and then in addition to that, I'm doing a street light project, right? So I'm putting up solar lights in some of the communities that are dark. They're very dark, you know. And they complain to me about it. So I said, let me get some solar lights. I got them and I started to put them up. I put up 2 already. I'm doing 1 more this weekend, and then we'll see how it goes from there. You know, but since that persons have been reaching out to me, and I don't pay much attention to the backlash I get on social media from labor rights, because all the negative comments are from die-hearted labor rights, which is what I would expect of them. I don't expect them to commend me, but I do get a lot of comments that say, Mama, we should dip on our side, which means that they appreciate the work that I'm doing, but they wish I was one of them, you know? So that's why I don't pay it no mind when the labor rights cost me. So,
well, you must expect that, Danishkan. Is them you want the person from?
Yeah, man, but I don't pay it no mind, because you have many labor rights commenting and saying you should have been on our side, which means that they too believe I am better than who they currently have.
Hallelujah. So, that sounds
right.
good. What is the response to you on the road like?
High energy, very high energy. People are excited about change.
Yes.
What they've been communicating is that, boy, I'm tired for lose as a PMP up here. You know, them happy about the energy I have. And what's good is I have Colin Walford on the road with me sometimes, and he's clear to the people. Wanna love me, but just imagine me plus fear energy.
Yes.
Because she have a different kind of energy. The way she worked, and he said it at our workers' meeting last night. He said, the way in which I see Comrade Danishka work, I've never seen anybody work like that before. And Shaka, you know me because I was in Portland working with you. Of
course, yes, man. So we know your depth in the politics.
And rain, shine.
Yes.
Because we'd have flew one time and we're still out there campaigning
fully
on before COVID.
Yes.
So we know.
Yes. And we wish you all the best.
So they don't have more energy than me. They're not committed to the people more than me. They don't have more love for the people than me. What they have is more money, as all JLP candidates do.
And they don't have more connection. They don't have more connection than you neither.
They don't have more connections, and they don't have more. They're not brighter, so they don't have more ideas.
Obi, you have something else?
Danishka, let me ask this, because this is something that I'm hearing from their camp. You know, they're trying to build something around this. That, listen, Xavier is from the area. You come into the area and so on. Is that getting any traction?
Well, I was on a walk yesterday and a gentleman was saying to me, Miss, you come from Portmore. How you over here every day? And I said to the guy, I'm not from Portmore. I've never been to Portmore. He said, the labor rights tell him I'm from Portmore. I said, I've worked in Portmore. Not that I've never been there. I've worked in Portmore with Dr. Dawes, but I've never lived in Portmore. I have no family in Portmore. So that's not true. But the truth is this. I live in St. Anne and I walk 6 days a week. They see me more than they see him. So if we're talking about commitment, he lives in Kingston. Right? If we're talking about commitment to the people, I mean, I am there. I am present from December till now. I have been there.
Somebody told me that your roots is from that area. Is that so?
Yeah, man. So I have some family in Cave Valley, and I have my mother's side of family So every family you have mother, you have father, and then your mother and father have
Of
mother and father.
yeah.
So my mother's mother is from Wattown. My mother's father is from Southfield, St. Elizabeth.
So you have
And
roots.
Wattown is the community that my opponent is from as well. My mother is a Ratri there.
Yeah.
And him and his mother are from there too.
So you have roots in the constituency.
Yeah, man, it's not as distant as they're making it seem. But what happened is when you can't find nothing to say, you just say any little thing, and that's what they're doing now. Them just say any little thing. So I find somebody telling me that I come from Portmore, somebody telling me that I'm in Kingston every day. They're just saying any little thing because they don't really have anything to say.
Well, one thing I know is that you're young, you have a bright future, and the constituency can grow with you.
Yes, they definitely will. And if they believe it's an uphill battle, I'm sure I'll put down my flag before him at the end of the finish line. So
they say can't go up the hill faster than you.
Can't go up the faster than me.
Danishka, we are going to be talking again, and we wish you all the best. We know that you have the energy. We know that you have the political fortitude. You know the politics.
Yeah.
They might say you're young, but you're not young to the politics. That's what a lot of people don't know. And that's why when you had your presentation, I drove from Port Antonio, come down there because I say when we had
I appreciate it.
Obi, when we have the by-election, man, this little girl came to Port Antonio, and she put on some work. She not leave.
I am aware. I'm aware. Danishka, my final thing to you before you go. We expose the situation there that you have with the health center in your constituency, and you made a call for the mobile unit, as you said. Have there been any response from the ministry?
No, and I don't really expect the ministry to respond. I think they have their own battles working on right now. Them have their land, them have them one thing a fight right now. So for them to take on the people's business, we know them not going to put that first. So but I will keep pressing on. I'll keep calling for it. I hear some little rumors that the MP has identified a new space to build the health center, which is good. I don't know if it's true, but this is info that has been fed to me. I don't know if it is true, but it's something that I'm calling for. So I'm calling for them to provide the mobile clinics in the interim, but also find a new location because we need the health center. The way the constituency is set up, it's massive. So we need those things. Those things are very important to the people. And I think for politics, what we must do is deliver to the people the things that they need and the things that will help them to live better quality lives.
Obi was asking you earlier, this issue with the nurse and this gentleman, well, me now call him a gentleman, this brute. What are your views on it?
Well, I think it's an awful situation, a very awful situation. It was actually hard for me to watch. I had to read the comments before I watched it because I couldn't imagine, as a woman, somebody doing that to me. I couldn't imagine it or doing it to one of my loved ones. I view that nurse as myself.
Yes.
As a female who I know, and I do hope that they throw the entire book at him.
I said this morning that she must sue him, her husband must sue him, and if she have kids, the kids they must sue him too.
Yeah, man.
Despicable.
Everything that he has and everything that he would have inherited should belong to them.
You're so right, Colin and Danishka. But listen, let's not forget that we have one sitting among the 49 and the governing side in Parliament that we saw the tape where he used tool and beat. So maybe this man believe that, listen, it's okay for him to do it because
it's the same thing that I wish for that gentleman. For any man who believes that they should treat women like that, they don't love women. I don't want to say anything else, but they don't love women, And the harshest punishment is what I believe they deserve.
Danishka, anything you want to say before you leave us?
Yeah, man, I want my constituents actually wake me up, but I want my constituents in Southwest St. Anne to know and understand that I am here for you, to do the work for you that you deserve. The neglect that you have faced over the past 9 years in particular, I am here to reverse it as best as I can and deliver some real things to you guys. You guys want water, you want job opportunities, you want better, you want food in the schools. I've been speaking to the principals to understand What are the needs? You have some special needs kids in the schools that need some assistance, and in the homes that need some assistance. And we are here for every single one of you, my farmers in particular, because you make up the largest grouping of residents in my constituency. We are here for you, not just storage facilities, but we are here to ensure that you get every single thing you need to be able to package your produce and deliver them. And I will be making connections with the hotel industry, international connections, so they can export. So my farmers in Cascade, who just won an award last week at the AgroFest, which has been happening for 11 years and the MP has never gone. But in my first year, I attended. For my Cascade farmers who won that, I would love to see Cascade branded and exported to the US, right? And to other countries as well. So these are some of the things that we are working on. And just work with me as I campaign and get through this period, because when I win this election, I promise you it's going to be a joyride.
Howard Williams in the chat room, I don't know if you understand this. He says Retreat Water Project. It started earlier this year and stopped. I need to hear her on this.
That's okay. Retreat Water Project. So that's something that has been in the pipeline for 10 years. Thankfully, it just started. But I do know that it has stopped. The MP has not given an update. Maybe I need to go there and give an update, because I've already contacted NWC and gotten the information. But I was giving him an opportunity to do the right thing, because they keep saying that I'm speaking as if I'm the MP. So I've given him an opportunity. He has not done so. I will go there. If not, maybe in the week I can go there and just do a video so that the residents can understand what's going on. I know the dust nuisance. I went there and there's a lady who showed me her medication for her eye, because the dust is affecting her in a major way. And she says she has to be paying for it. She has sent it over to the counselor, which is a JLP counselor, Mr. Wickham, and she don't get a response as yet. But I know there are other persons there who are in that kind of need, because the dust nuisance, them dig it up and they're not watering it. I mean, I know. So I'm going to be able to give you a full update next week, because I realize that the MP hasn't done so.
Somebody's saying
that.
Go ahead,
one sec. That is good. Since you're playing, you are the one who are the MP and have to be giving the update. Can you update the people and that housing project that Xavier said he was going to put forward? Remind the listeners and the people in your constituency who are listening and watching now, what is the situation there and that housing project, and why you're going to tackle housing head on when you become the member of parliament?
Definitely. So yesterday I actually toured the site that we should be building the houses on in Armadale, right? So you already have some teachers and policemen there. Senator Floyd has committed to me that I will be getting 500 units in Southwest Centan when
the PNP
again, forms
500 units when the PNP formed the government.
Yeah, man, because I've requested it. For the minute I saw the housing plan, I said, hey, Southwest, we have none, and I need some.
Yes.
And he said, okay, 500 can be done in Southwest Centan. So regarding Alexandria Estate now, it's one of those election promises, like sleep with your windows and doors open. It was one of those. The MP had shared it on his social media, on his Facebook, August 20, and then he shared it on his Instagram, September 2nd. The election was September 3rd. Right. So I'm good with numbers. So I remember dates and stuff like that. Right. So those are the dates that he shared it, and the election was September 3rd. So it's clear as day, an election promised to Southwest Centan. That was in 2020. We are now in 2025. And the story, the post on his page said houses are here.
Oh,
we're in 2025 and they haven't arrived.
Sheldon Spence is saying, ask her about bauxite mining.
So the houses are not in Southwest Centan. And it's really unfortunate, because persons were looking forward to it. They were pretty excited about the concept of Alexandria Estate, and it's something that I definitely want to deliver to them. I'm not going to use that name, but I will definitely deliver houses to the residents of Southwest Centan. They may not see everything done at once, but they will see where progress has exists and where I have started, as well as I will have a system of accountability which doesn't currently exist. That will be new to Southwest Centan. I want to put a board together that is responsible for accountability. That includes persons who are not political.
Somebody's saying that the
citizens who care about their constituency.
Somebody's saying that the housing sign is in Alexandra and no house is built.
That's true. So the paint on the sign has now faded. But I mean, we can see some of it because some are red, so we can make it out still. But it has faded and the sign has been put up, but no houses have started to be built. You know, they did cut ribbon right there and everything with Darrell Vaz and all that excitement, but nothing has started. So I mean, but it's a type of government that exists right now. So there will be a lot of work for me to do because there's so much that has not been done. So I do look forward to it, and I'm hardworking. I look forward to what is ahead of me.
All right,
somebody mentioned bauxite.
Yes.
Bauxite is a tricky topic in Southwest Central. You know, the mining exists, and I'm trying to schedule a meeting with the company to see how I can just talk to them about what percentage can go back to community development, because that's something that's important. There's no way you can be causing these issues regarding dust nuisance and all of those things, and then sickness generally, and then we're not giving back. You know, so I want to have a fulsome discussion with the company to see where's the middle ground. So I will be representing my constituents on that based on the information that I've gathered from them, because I've been speaking to persons and it has come up. You know, there's some people who want it to stop. There's some people who say, no, man, it can't stop because it's also our livelihood. So we don't want it to stop, but we need to know that when it happens, this happens next. You know, so I've been taking guidance from the citizens themselves. I've been speaking to the contractors as well, which is something that people may not know. I speak to the contractors. So I have enough information to know how to represent on that matter without it being an issue, even though it is very complex.
Blessings.
You know, Shaka, I just want to say this to Danishka. I won't ask her a question on it. All I end by saying to her, to Danishka, is that, Danishka, now I know where you are, why you are where you are. Because what you did just now with this final answer, it's a gem. I'll speak to you off here further as it relates to some things in the backside sector. I won't say any more there, but I'll just close by saying your answer just now, it's a gem indeed. Backside is a very, very tricky and ticklish situation in that constituency of Southwest Central.
All right, Danishka, have a good day. Get some more rest and hit the road later.
All right.
Blessings. One love.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Listeners and viewers, that was Danishka Williams, the candidate for, what is it, Southwest Central, Obi?
Yes, it is Southwest. And Colin, let's commend her because, you know, she's really up to the task of working for the people. You know, she said she was sleeping. She actually got the call because, of course, we know that these candidates are burning the candles late in the night and so on. So one can understand she getting a little bit rest this Saturday morning, and she was prepared to get up, you know, and come on the feed here. Excellent. Want to comment
Hold
her
on for
in
me,
a
Obi.
big way.
Hold on. 804-7072. Good morning.
Colin.
Marshy Wagwan.
Me there, man. Well, you just talk to Danishka.
Yes.
Well, I PNP want them bright. Trust me.
Man, I pay a bright candidate PNP have.
Pay bright daddy. And now me understand why over at JLP side some done so over there, because if PNP have all the bright one, them where they did go get.
Man, there are more bright people in Jamaica. It's not that Jamaica is limited, but if you run a cult organization, you can only get people who are willing to be fooled.
Yes.
You know, so people who are critical thinkers would not be welcome on a slate like that.
Yeah. But I'm a bit troubled because I remember an incident at Patrick Bailey House where no 4th century man get gunshot in the dead.
Hold on, Marsh. Hold on, don't move. Hello, good morning. Morning, Colin. Hold the call for me. I'm coming back to you. Go ahead, Marshy.
Yes, the man found dead in Patrick Bailey house, dead by gunshot, no forced entry.
Yeah.
I'm on Patrick Bailey in the Patrick Bailey is not a suspect, and the case dead.
Not
at
more.
the end of the road, we find out the Prime Minister and Patrick Bailey were friends. I'm liar. This man, when me never even know the words what he use, but onto that nurse woman, and that nurse and that man and the Prime Minister friend, I told them it's a picture together.
Hold on, the Marsh. And you see, I try my best to be honest and to be fair. Not because you see the man in a picture with the Prime Minister. It doesn't necessarily mean that the Prime Minister friend, you know.
No, not necessary.
Right.
Not necessary.
So,
but that
until we get further particulars, I will not allow you to say it's the Prime Minister's friend.
All right. I take your point. I take your point. But we know the friend and Kumbolo thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know the friend and Kumbolo thing. But let me tell you something right now.
Mm-hmm.
Me not be other one hear nothing from the JLP, right? Where the PNP women's movement are going to do about this?
Well, I saw Dr. Dawes came out with a press release. We played it this morning. And I'm not sure if anybody else yet.
When listen me, Colin. Me cook sometime, you see?
Yeah.
And sometimes I want to take the hot pot off of the fire, and sometimes I look and I see the dish towel.
Yeah.
And I just make it, hold it, and take it off and put it on quick. Let it go. You understand?
Yes.
And some see the PNP angle some situation, just put out a press release and done. And that is it. Sometimes them not even carry it. This foolishness must stop.
Well, there's an argument that the man has been in custody, you know. So if the police hold the man, what else the PNP need to do?
Hold on,
the Marsh. Go ahead, Obi.
Yes, let's remind us long before, and we must give credit where credit is due. Long before Dr. Dawes came out, Patricia Duncan Sutherland, the president of the People's National Party, Women's Movement, was out there long ago. She issued a press release on it and condemned it from day one. So she was out there for Dr. Dawes came in as a portfolio person yesterday because it's a nurse and basically, give his add some additional meat to the bone. But Pat was out there in front long before that condemning it. So the PNP has been talking about it from day one.
All right, Marsh.
No, me not true with it. Me not true with it. Let me tell you something. Me here said the nurse them a go out them Monday. Remember, man, the JLP dressed in a blue and go out and say they must support the police, right?
Well, we could see if they go out, they go support the nurses them.
We want to see the PNP go out there. This is a very serious thing. Not just a little talk and pat on the back. And if any women in the JLP who have any decency, then don't treat it like how they treat the one where the man take the stool and beat the woman down. So that woman they must too close to the iron. Even Juliet Cuthbert as rude as she is. And she even want to come out and tell a man the couple bad words now because we know how she good for that. We need everybody to come out. We cannot allow this one to drop. It's gone too often, man.
Florence Brown in the chat room is saying Joan Gardner-Webley also spoke about it.
Yes, but we don't only want to talk. We want to see them out there.
Well,
we need to get out there this time and seriously. You see the JLP afraid of anybody mouth? You see government afraid of anybody mouth? Action them afraid of. We need to go out there this time.
All right,
full time now. This one little talk and drop it on 90, and then the man come out and you realize what the man does to do, man. After the woman, step the woman and like you wheel her and fling her down, and then spit on her and then step in her face.
Yeah, man, the man step on her and walk. The man put his foot in the lady head. You saw it, Toby?
You can tell the PNP to go to a statement. Put out a statement the front side. We want more. You're interested to take care of
terrible, man.
We need some serious action.
Yeah, man. All right,
No,
Marshy.
just put out a statement, argument, and done. This a drop business. We have to get up this time. Some other parts of the world, the place locked down.
All right, Marshy. Respect.
Yes, sir.
804-7072. Yeah, Obi, go ahead. Yeah.
You know me, the man who start measured, no way, no word, the man thing like that. But let me tell you something. The man here crow bait. A shit house at the bottom
Hold
of
on
the
caller.
tail.
Yeah, man. That man a man frame. Ye frame. Go ahead, caller.
The man, listen to me, man.
We're good enough. We are some mystical.
Yeah, blessed brother. Yeah. You know, I came on just about 15, 20 minutes ago, so I'm not available of most of the sentiments, you know, on the program. Yeah. But suffice it to say, you talk about wanting further particulars on a certain matter, yeah?
Yeah.
But I'm not an investigator, you know, so I just move by the obvious, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm just moved by the obvious, you know, what is seen, you know.
Yeah, well, as I said earlier this morning, right? Even myself go some places and some people say, yeah, you are Colin, want a picture. And you take a picture. So I am saying that not because the Prime Minister is in a picture with this man means that they are friends. I would want to know more before I say that they are friends. Or maybe the Prime Minister don't even know him.
Yeah, but I leave that justification to the person who is identified. I'm not going to take on any military role.
Right.
Yeah. No, because that would not be my purview. My purview as an observer and as a commentator is to be directed by what I would have seen. And somebody will have to debunk that to say, hey, that is not so. And this is so. But you're in your right to take an approach, that you believe is a rational approach. The point I wish to make, though, Colin, which is a very alarming and significant point, and it touches the heart and soul of the country, its constitution, its governance, and its government.
Yeah.
And most of all, its people. No, the kind of philosophy being practiced in this country touches on concerns what is necessary, what is appropriate, and what is relevant and what is good and acceptable to the people of this country. At all times, we have to bear in mind, how did we come here in this location? So we're talking about our history, our culture, and we're talking about our expectation and what is rightly ours and due to us, As a matter of fact, we don't even supposed to do no work around us now because we are owed so much, that everything should just come to us that is necessary for us and we require. The point I make here, Colin and O'Brien, is this: all that is being practiced by the government of this country is in keeping with a philosophy of deprivation and impoverishment, and which is not a localized philosophy, It is being practiced in a localized way. Say it's practiced in Jamaica, it's practiced in Cuba, it's practiced here and there. And we see the result of impoverishment and diseducation and so forth, missed opportunities, and so forth and so on. No, infrastructure go to the heart, tell a big story. It tells the story that once you reverence and respect people, and their future and their needs, you are going to do the things that are fundamental to satisfying some basic needs, And one of them is water. One of them, and principle of them all, is education, Provision of food, So agriculture is going to be at the center, taking care of their health and providing the opportunities that can ascend them. Now, if you look at what is being practiced, Shaka, when you see black tanks being rolling out, it's not a support system to back up when drought or when anything goes down, It is a replacement of the national infrastructural work, equitable distribution of basic needs, sustaining and supplying basic needs and resources. So when they are not doing what they should be doing, it's to show you that our intention is to allow people to gravel. I don't know if you've seen the big picture. Why going 10 years? There has been no significant national approach towards water distribution, water infrastructure. Why?
Well,
Jamaica is a land of wood and water. So when they come and scientifically manipulate, and subvert the minds of people to let them get so acquainted with an alternative to pipe water, and to put in pipe, what them call it now, water shops, and to give out black tanks like nothing, and people gravitating and think this is something that is wonderful. It is the standard that they are appropriating. So you will not see the kind of infrastructure that will provide potable water, domestic water, and water that can come through your pipes in your houses, and that you can live an hygienic and sanitized life. It is a part of the philosophy of these people.
Yeah.
So water is not a priority. They are just jumping around and showing glimpses of what should be. And in one little area, they may say, okay, see, we put water here. Yeah, it's to subvert your mind to get attached that it is coming, it's coming. It will not come. And this is what is being done in a piecemeal way. The black tanks is a deliberate.
In Portland, mystical. In Portland, I see what they call water shops. And I am saying to the people of Portland, say no to water shops. We want water coming out of our taps.
It is not an intention, It is what you call it. I don't use the word demonstration, but it's a demonstration. It is demonic riddled to misappropriate funds and to deprive people of that which is and should be the standard. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Same with the road. Why do you think over 10 years? I mean, they are just coming to say, okay, we're going to spark it up and we're going to reach it up and all this thing. Yeah? It's the glitz and the glamour associated with the culture. Of getting your minds to think that.
I'll say two things. I'll say three things as a matter of fact. As it relates to the water, very important point there, Mystic made. However, let's bear in mind, there are emergency situations. So if one wish to acquire a black tank when you have your proper water system in place, then that's a necessity. Fine. Also, communities that may need an emergency situation, then you may be able to put the water shop there for a temporary measure while you are building out the proper system. However, it cannot be that the norm is to resort to black tank and water shop. We must condemn, we must not satisfy with those. But I want to just say something that Daniska Williams pointed out this morning, Colin, and I made the point. I don't know if you had picked up the relevance with the point or what you make of it, but here is a constituency. I forget when this constituency was created, but certainly within our modern, within the political sphere, that constituency would have represented in Parliament about 98% of the time, if 99%. We can work the math, right? That the JLP has been representing that constituency. And I think the PNP have only represented that constituency twice. And for it to be 95%, as young Daniska Williams pointed out just now, locked in terms of potable water, Colin, that speaks volume as to the scant regard in which the people who would have represented the people there 99% of the time treat the people. And people must look at these things. You can't be just so die-hearted, so committed that you are not able to look at those things. We are in Southwestern and there. You also look at the housing stuff there in terms of what they have gotten. And certainly there's a lack in there's a big lack there. And Daniska basically pointed out what the representation that she is making early in the piece so that the people can benefit. All of those things are important, Colin. So, all in all, I am in support of what Mystic is saying. You know, that it's a way when you deprive our people in this way, then certainly it's a way of you basically siphoning our fun and behaving as if you are giving the people a little butter here, a little sugar here, and they must be satisfied. And we must condemn those things. 9 years under this owner's-led administration, they have nothing to come to the people with. The thing that they are now having a test with is to say that a popular person from the PNG is coming over to their side, and that is what they are hoping to inch their campaign. And
not no go so. Not no go so. But hold on, Obi. Hold on, Mystical. Hold on a sec for me.
Yeah.
Hold on a sec. There's a man in the chat room, Master Jam. Him say, Colin, the water shop supply water to the house tops. Master Jam, if you don't know something, shut your mouth. Or if you're asking a question, use a question sign. The water shops that are in Portland, you have to carry your jug, go there and jug water guy your yard.
Standpipe.
No standpipe, not there. It's black jugs them out. Store the water.
It's not only Portland alone, Colin.
Hold a sec.
All over.
Hold a sec for me. You go there, catch water in your jug, either put it on your head, your bicycle or in your car and carry your yard. Caller, good morning.
Same, sir.
And sign. I have a sign for it and put your phone number.
Colin,
yes, right? Yes, sir.
Colin.
Yes, sir.
Why you think I'm rich?
Why you think what?
Why you think that I'm rich?
Why you think that you are rich?
Yeah.
I don't know if you're rich.
But you put power for 10 minutes.
Yeah, man, I was coming back to you, by the time I come back to you, you're gone.
How bad boy, Trevor?
Where I say youth?
Yeah.
Then you're not rich, man. You're a creative. You're supposed to have enough money.
I watch you live day and night. With your town hall meeting there.
Oh, when then cut we off.
Yeah, but it's going good.
All right, my brother. We're there, man. We're there to do the work.
Me tell you, say, entertainment is coming to Portland.
Yes, you did tell me.
Okay.
All right, so make we know the date. All right, no worry yourself. Me will shout you. I will give you a call very soon.
That's all
right, brother. Yeah, man. The divisional conference for the Port Antonio and Prospect division, they will be having a joint conference tomorrow evening at the Port Antonio High School, starting at 5 p.m. Guest speaker, Philip Paulwell. And of course,
Colin.
Yes, yeah. I still have Mystical.
Go ahead. Finish.
Mystical, go ahead.
Yeah, man. So what I'm essentially pointing out, Colin, consistent with the philosophy being appropriated upon the people blindly, yeah?
Yeah.
Water, road, education, health, agriculture, note significantly what has not happened to these dimensions over a sustained period of time and what it would have caused, yeah? Mm-hmm. The deterioration, yeah? Yes. Of these basic, yeah? Mm-hmm. Areas of life that need fundamental attention. Remember, the Prime Minister said, "Now I have gone through the country and I have heard your cry, and you need road and you need water." Yeah, you would have to search to know that those are given.
Yes,
those are given from administration to administration. No, mm-hmm. It is the type of appropriation that will ensure that our people are held in bondage, are deprived of education. Why don't you think more is poured into education to lift it up? Why do you think that in all the hospitals in Jamaica, which numbers I don't how many, right? You can only find probably in one place or two places, yeah, MRI or scan machines and so forth. Yeah. Why? And most of the time they are not working. You think that this is not deliberate? It is deliberate to deprive the people of the standard of living and standard of life and honor that they deserve. Yeah.
All right.
So when, all right.
I'll run left here.
Left, because me just want to put out there, I don't want that to escape the mind of the people to understand this is a fundamental appropriation. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. It is fundamental. And if it continues, then you know the end result.
All right, my brother. Enough respect. Yeah, Obi.
Blessings, Colin. I want us to not to lose sight of this because I think it's important. Since the whole business of the two parties in Jamaica representing the farming government, the PNP, the JLP represent in government 1 year more than the People's National Party, as it is now, 1 year more.
Yeah, I see it.
It would be instructive, Colin, to break down in terms of education, health, access to education, road development, and so on, to see that which of the parties has gone the furthest. And I can say without any fear of successful contribution that 80% of those deliverables have been given to the Jamaican people by the People's National Party. So I'm saying this to say that when we're having the discussion as to who want to move the people forward and to bring the people into mainstream and into the new paradigm, it is the People's National Party who basically carry that almost single-handedly and it's back. Let's use housing. Let's use housing, irrespective of even those houses that would have been built under the JLP leadership.
Yeah, man.
Where did the idea of the National Housing Trust came from in order to ensure that as much as possible of our people could have a roof over their heads? It's important that we look at the discussion in that way, Colin, and don't draw a broad brush to say that the two of them are the same thing. It is not true, and it is not honest to reason that way. I'm not saying that we have had that discussion here,
right
here this morning. I'm just speaking generally.
Yeah. Sam, go ahead.
Good morning, Colin, and good morning, Obi.
Morning.
I want to say a few things. Knowing Andy, I believe Andy know that lady.
What you say? You know Andy?
Say knowing Andy, I believe Andy know that lady.
So you know Andy?
You want to say knowing Andy?
So just answer my question.
Andy know that.
So just answer my question.
Answer your question. Answer your question.
So you know Andy. Me just want to make it clear to my callers, to my viewers, that you are
Andy.
saying that you know Andy.
What he said, Colin,
knowing Andy.
Him said
I believe Andy know that lady.
You think
there's no way he would attack a lady and in that manner without associate with that lady.
But whether I know her or not, Lord God Almighty, man, you take on her head?
No, but that's what I'm sure. It must some grievance. It must some grievance. People attack a person in that manner.
Hold on, Obi, let him finish.
It can't be just a blow on, a blocking, cause that brutal attack on the lady.
Because remember them saying spit on her first, you know.
You see him do, man, he draw out the car, pull her gun, kick her, turn her over, spit on her, and then step on her head. There's nowhere a man don't know a person do a person that way. Psychology.
No, but whether you know her or not, brother, whether you know her or not, not getting no right for do nobody. So.
No, but that's not.
But I'm telling you,
hold on, Sam. Hold on, go ahead, Obi.
Yeah, I don't think the caller is making the point to say whether you know or not, you should be that way. But he's onto something because I tell you, but it's easy to, but this is something that is very easy to identify. The nurse is alive, so she can basically speak to the fact as to whether or not she knew him. But the caller is onto something, Colin, because certainly that came to my mind when I started, I messaged myself, so how could a man, you know somebody from Adams, and you just come up meet out that kind of, it's as if you would be behaving as if, boy, this is a woman that you and she had something, and you find an opportune time to really vent on her. And I agree with you, Colin, whether you know her or you don't know her, it can be an appropriate way to deal with, but it raises a question. You know?
It definitely raises a question. Sam, you have something else?
Yeah. I have two more things. I would like the women's movement of the PMP get a lawyer and watch the proceeding of that trial on behalf of the women's movement of the PMP.
So
Thirdly,
that's a suggestion.
I would like to the PMP have a town hall meeting with at least 6 of their female candidates speaking on issue affecting women in the society of Jamaica. I want to say on that. I would like your opinion, your OB on that. I will hang up and listen to it.
Not a bad idea, Sam.
Good
All right.
Suggestion.
Good suggestion. Something that the women's movement could look at, and we have a member of the women's movement listening. The producer is a member of the women's movement, so it is a suggestion, madam.
And indeed, Colin, the women's movement, I think they're having a conference. They're having a conference coming up soon. I know they engage someone who I'm very close to be a guest speaker there. So that is also on the offering. So the suggestion is quite timely. That our friend Sam made.
Obi, I never knew Matthew Samuda was so arrogant.
Boy, well, I know he is. I know he is because he had spoken to my producer and said that he's not coming back on my program again just because I dare to ask him questions that was important to information flowing to the Jamaican people. So Matthew is a very arrogant fellow. He is indeed, but trust me, I really did not expect him to pour out the way that he did yesterday with DJ Miller. Didn't expect it, Colin.
No, sir.
No, sir. Didn't expect it.
But you know something, Obi? And then it is not even a big deal, because the Water Commission, as the local authority, after now cannot trust the Water Commission's reports anymore either. And I would say to the local authority, the KSMC, and any other local authority, to depend on sample results from your public health department and not from the NWC, because we now see that the government is politicizing the NWC.
And also, Colin, there's a bigger question in all of this. Remember that really the minister, the person who really have overall portfolio responsible for the national water commission, our water, is the prime minister.
Yeah, man, he's the minister.
He's
the authority minister.
Indeed, Matthew is really a minister without portfolio operating out of the office of the prime, out of that super ministry that is headed by the prime minister. So that is also a very important thing. So, in terms of the National Water Commission issue that statement, Matthew as the minister that overseeing the portfolio, he could jump in immediately and say, no, not at all.
Yeah.
But let's say Matthew failed and the job to do that. His boss, who is the prime minister, could now come in and say, no, Matthew, not so. I am running a transparent government, and I believe that the people of Jamaica is supposed to have access to this information through the local authority, i.e. the Kingston and St. Andrew.
But we know they're not running a transparent government, Toby. We know that. They are not running a transparent government. And hence these kind of things, because you remember the report on the Duns River and White River,
Yeah.
they didn't want that report to come out either. So we know it's not a transparent government they are running. But finally, Obi, before we go, we must go back and look now at Prime Minister Andrew Holness with the election coming up. We heard Mark Golding in our news clip saying that in other countries, Prime Minister Andrew Holness could not be on the ballot going into the general election without his name being cleared. Where are we on that?
All right, Colin. We must commend the president of the People's National Party and Opposition, Mark Golding, for being so forthright. He is steadfast on this. He's certainly not letting it go at all. And if you notice, every single meeting that Mark was addressed, he ensured that he made this a centerpiece of his presentation. Therefore, it shows his commitment to it. And I dare say, Colin, that I have to concur with him that the Prime Minister, in my view, disqualified himself to be on the ballot with this halo over his head. And he should step aside and indeed go about clearing his name. Because, Colin, the optics, it doesn't look good at all. It doesn't look good at all.
And we heard Matthew.
Also, Colin,
we heard Matthew in the interview talking about damaging Jamaica's reputation. What is the Prime Minister doing to Jamaica's reputation?
Absolutely, Colin. This is damaging Jamaica's reputation. And remember now that there are also an additional 7 on the Prime Minister's side that is also under investigation for illicit enrichment based on what we know from the Integrity Commission.
Right.
So it's not just about the Prime Minister alone. It has implications for 7 others who may very well be going back on the ballot unknowing to the Jamaican people. So we must continue to make the demand for those to be released and indeed continue to push back on the Prime Minister to say no.
You know what I'd say though, Obi? You know what I'd say? It have implication for the other 48 on the GLP side because like our senior attorney friend says, all of them are suspect because we don't know who they are.
Absolutely.
All members sitting in the house from the GLP side are suspected to be under investigation for illicit enrichment. Come out and clear your name. Come out and said, I am not one of them. But what do we do now, Obi, with civil society, the churches, and all these groups going into the election? Do you think that we should be hearing from them more vociferously to say somebody need to come out and clear your name? And if you don't clear, you should not be on a ballot going into the next election.
Without a doubt, that go without saying, Colin, and certainly not, and also the media, the fourth estate must also be a part of that. So we're calling on the churches, civil society, the various watchdog groups, and indeed the media, the fourth estate, going as the day draws closer, we should hear them the noise so that the Jamaica Labour Party would have adequate time to basically select one from among them to lead them into the general election, apart from Michael Andrew Holness, you know, as he's affectionately called Radam Brogard.
All right, Toby.
So all in all, Colin, before you leave here, I got a call this morning about 6:30. Right, 6:30. I must say that call woke me up from a police officer, a friend of mine who is a police officer.
Yeah,
and he said to me that he was in East Portland yesterday, and he expressed a concern, saying that boy, you know, he was wondering if you guys are giving back Anne Marie a foothold into the constituency because he gathered that she was gaining back some ground there. He said a couple of months ago when he went there, she was gone. it was all over by the South for her, but he expressed a view that she may be gaining some ground. You're an East Portland man, Colin. You're there underground. Can you respond to that?
I don't know what ground she's gaining. I think I see she dancing a little more often, but that's about what I have seen.
All right. Okay. Okay, Colin.
we will talk.
You have any more exotic clubs set up down there?
Any more what?
Exotic clubs.
Exotic clubs? No. Well, the ones that are here are full, but she don't go to the club. She dance on the road.
On the road.
Yes. Yes.
I don't mind seeing a few beautiful ladies dancing.
She said for development and growth, she thanked the Prime Minister for putting in structures. Yes. So
all right.
We will talk, Conrad. Blessings.
Let's see if any more instructors will be put in place.
All right, my brother. One love.
God bless.
Viewers and listeners, let me say thanks to you this morning. Thanks to Ralston Iman. Thanks to Conrad O'Brien. And all the callers, all the people in the chat room. May the good Lord bless and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his light and give you his peace. Until we meet again Tuesday evening, this has been the Colin Bell Show. Bless you. Oui.